Hello, kiddies. I present a video from my vault called The Charred Mystery of Starks, Louisiana. On a frigid morning on January 7th, 1997, the quiet town of Starks, Louisiana, nestled in Calcasieu Parish, woke to a grim discovery that would haunt its community for decades. Along Highway 12, near milepost 10.1, the remains of a young woman were found at an abandoned construction site near the General Box factory, a place that had long been forgotten, but now etched itself into infamy. The woman's body was burned beyond recognition, charred to the point where identifying her would prove to be a monumental challenge. But beneath the soot and devastation lay traces of a life tragically cut short, a mystery begging to be solved, a young life silenced. The victim was estimated to be between 18 and 22 years old, a young black woman with black, kinky hair. She stood around 5'4" to 5'6" tall, weighing between 135 and 140 pounds. Despite the destruction wrought upon her remains, investigators uncovered a key piece of evidence that added a chilling layer to the case: the cause of death. She had been strangled, a cold and deliberate act of violence, before her body was set ablaze in an attempt to erase any trace of her identity. Clues left behind. Though the fire was meant to consume everything, it couldn't completely obliterate the fragments of her story. She was dressed in a red tank top, layered with a blue and tan plaid shirt, red shorts with blue flowers, white panties, and black drawstring sweatpants. A small yellow metal ring adorned her hand, its modest beauty now overshadowed by its grim significance. The ring bore one red stone, one clear white stone, and a third, empty setting, perhaps a symbol of something left unfinished. Her dental records revealed a mix of fillings in her molars, a hint that someone once cared for her well-being. Even more curious was a medical anomaly. She had only one kidney, and her remaining kidney was horseshoe-shaped. Whether her missing kidney was the result of a congenital defect or surgical removal remains unknown, but it was a unique feature that could have held the key to identifying her. The scene of horror, the abandoned construction site near the General Box factory, silent and desolate, became the perfect backdrop for a killer to carry out their gruesome act. The fire that consumed her body wasn't accidental. It was set deliberately, as if to silence her voice forever. Yet, despite the cruel intentions of her murderer, her story continued to echo, whispering clues to those willing to listen. A case that still haunts. In the years since that fateful discovery, the case has remained unsolved. Despite the best efforts of the Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Office and other investigators, the young woman's identity and the identity of her killer remains a mystery. Her DNA is preserved, her dental records are available, and her story is etched into the files of cold case detectives. But no one has come forward to claim her. She is not just another statistic. She was someone's daughter, someone's friend, someone who deserved so much more than the cruel fate she met that winter day in 1997. Next is another true story I call Circumstances of Disappearance. On the evening of June 26, 1973, the tranquil community of Wall Township, New Jersey, was forever altered by the mysterious disappearance of 19-year-old John Andre Cotta, an accomplished equestrian and active member of the 4-H Club. Jan was last seen between 11:30 p.m. and midnight in the barn tack house on her family's property in the Allenwood section of Wall Township. Her brother and his friend were the last to see her, and shortly after, the sound of a vehicle departing the farm was noted. By the next morning, Jan had vanished without a trace. Physical description and health. Jan stood at 5'4" and weighed approximately 125 pounds. She had brown hair and striking blue eyes. Distinctive features included a mole near the left side of her mouth, a previously fractured left wrist and lower left arm, a lazy right eye that drooped when she was tired or unwell, and a club foot on her left foot that turned inward when fatigued. At the time of her disappearance, she was reportedly 5 to 7 months pregnant. She also suffered from asthma and possibly epilepsy. The disappearance. On that fateful night, Jan was last seen wearing blue landlubber's jeans, a white shirt with a blue design, and brown loafers. She carried a round tweed purse and wore 2 rings, a plain gold band engraved with the initials JRC, and a gold ring set with a blue topaz birthstone, flanked by 2 diamonds. Despite extensive investigations, Jan's whereabouts remain unknown. Her case continues to be a haunting mystery, leaving her family and the community searching for answers decades later.